Okay, picture this. It's 8 p.m., you swore to yourself you'd finally read that book or maybe go to the gym. But where are you? You're on the couch, endlessly scrolling on your phone, and you're thinking, ugh, I just have no discipline. But what if I told you that's completely wrong? What if the real problem isn't you or your willpower, but the world you've built around yourself? Today, we're going to tear that old myth apart.
So here's our game plan. First, we're going to debunk that great willpower myth once and for all. Then we'll get into the science of your brain's draining battery. After that, we get to the fun stuff, the practical hacks. We'll talk about the physics of easy habits, how to design your physical world and hack your digital life. And finally, we'll put it all together so you can become the architect of your own life. All right, first up, the great willpower myth. We're told our whole lives to just try harder, to have more grit, to push through. But what if that very advice is setting us up to fail? Let's really dig into why just trying to power through is a strategy that's pretty much doomed from the start. This quote right here, it just flips the whole idea of discipline on its head. Think about it. The people we see as successful aren't winning these epic, constant battles against temptation. No way. They've just designed their lives so they don't have to fight those battles in the first place. They make good decisions the easy decisions. They win by being smart architects, not by being warriors. So if it's not about having more willpower, what's actually going on inside our heads? Well, this isn't just some nice idea. It's backed by some pretty solid science. Turns out there's a real biological reason your self-control feels like it just disappears by the end of the day. The idea is called ego depletion. And honestly, the best way to understand it is to think of your willpower as your phone's battery. Every single time you make a conscious choice, from resisting that donut in the break room to forcing yourself to answer a boring email, even just deciding what to watch, you're draining that battery bit by bit. So by 8 p.m., when it's time to make a good choice, your battery is blinking red. And check out this classic experiment that shows this in action. A researcher, Roy Baumeister, brought people into a lab that smelled absolutely amazing, like fresh-baked chocolate chip cookies. One group got to eat the cookies, lucky them. But the other group, they were told they had to eat radishes while staring at those warm, gooey cookies. Can you imagine the pure mental agony? Resisting that temptation took a ton of willpower. So what happened next? Well, both groups were given a puzzle to solve that was actually impossible. And the results are just staggering. The people who got to eat the cookies, their willpower tanks were full. They worked on that puzzle for about 20 minutes. But the radish eaters, their mental batteries were totally shot from resisting the cookies. They gave up in just 8 minutes. Less than half the time. They had literally nothing left in the tank. And that brings us to the most important point of all this. Your willpower is finite. It runs out. And it's your environment, packed with temptations and tough decisions, that's draining it all day long. So the goal isn't to somehow get a bigger battery. The goal is to build a life that doesn't drain the battery you've already got. Okay, so our willpower battery is constantly under attack. What in the world do we do about it? Well, this is where we shift from biology to physics. And we're going to learn how to use a powerful, invisible force called friction to our advantage. This is where we start to fight back. You see, our brains are, at their core, kind of lazy. They are hardwired to take the path of least resistance. The friction principle is all about hacking that fundamental truth. We can add negative friction, which just means making bad habits harder or more annoying to do. Or we can do the opposite. We can remove friction, what we'll call positive friction, to make good habits so ridiculously easy that you just do them. Here's a perfect example of adding that negative friction. You want to stop scrolling on your phone the second you wake up, right? Don't rely on your morning willpower. You don't have any yet. Just charge your phone in the kitchen. Seriously, that tiny little bit of effort, having to physically get out of your warm bed to get it, is often more than enough to completely break that morning scroll habit. And on the flip side, removing friction for good habits works like magic. The author Sean Achor tells this great story about how he wanted to play his guitar more, but he kept it in the case, in a closet. And that 20 seconds of friction, unzipping it, taking it out, was enough for him to just say, meh, and not do it. So what did he do? He put the guitar on a stand right in the middle of his living room. The friction dropped to 0, and he started playing it every single day. All right, let's zoom out now. We're going to take this idea of friction and apply it to our entire physical world, because it's not just about one little habit. The way your home is laid out, your office, even the grocery store, it's all silently shaping every single choice you make every day. This study from Massachusetts General Hospital is just a perfect illustration. They wanted to get people to drink more water in their cafeteria. They didn't run an ad campaign, they didn't lecture anyone. All they did was add a few more baskets of bottled water next to all the sodas. That's it. And the result? Water sales jumped by over 25%. Think about that. No willpower, no nagging, just a tiny environmental tweak that led to a huge change in behavior. It's like the author James Clear says, environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. Your brain is always making these powerful connections between a place and an activity. So if you always work from your couch, your brain starts to link your couch with the stress of work, and suddenly it's harder to relax there. If you eat junk food at your desk becomes a trigger for snacking. So the solution is actually pretty simple. You create dedicated, single-purpose stations. This desk is only for work. That chair is only for reading a book, with no phone allowed. When you do this, over time, just sitting down in that spot automatically flips the right switch in your brain. You've basically outsourced your focus to your furniture. Okay, now we have to talk about the most powerful and probably most dangerous environment we all live in, our digital world. Your phone, it is not a neutral tool. It's an environment that has been carefully, brilliantly designed by thousands of engineers with one single goal: to hijack your attention and drain your willpower. It's time to take it back. Let's redesign that phone for our benefit, not theirs. First off, do a home screen audit. Take all those addictive apps, social media, news, email, and move them off your home screen into a folder on the second page. Even better, try the grayscale hack. Go into your phone's settings and turn the screen to black and white. It's amazing. When you strip away all those bright, flashy colors that trigger our brains, your phone instantly goes from being a slot machine to being a boring tool. And if you need a little more motivation to do this, just think about this number. Studies show it takes an average of 23 minutes to get back into a state of deep focus after you're interrupted by just one notification. That cost is absolutely insane. So protect that mental battery and be ruthless. Turn off every single notification that isn't from a real human being who needs you right now. Okay, we've gone through a lot, right? Psychology, physics, design. So now it's time to bring it all together. This is the part where we stop just living in our environment and we start to become its active architect. First, and this might be the biggest one, we have to talk about the most influential part of your environment: other people. There was a huge study that found if one of your close friends becomes obese, your own risk of becoming obese skyrockets by 57%. 57! We can't help it. We're social animals. So you have to consciously curate your circle. Surround yourself with people whose normal is what you want your goal to be. Next, we can literally program our brain using something called an implementation intention. It just sounds fancy. It's basically simple if-then code for your mind. So instead of a vague goal like, I want to work out more, you write a specific script. If it's 7 a.m. on a weekday, then I will immediately put on my running shoes. You see? You're using a cue from your environment, the time, to trigger an automatic action, completely bypassing the need for willpower or a decision. So here it is, your complete architect's toolkit. First, manage your energy. Remember, your willpower is a draining battery, so protect it. Second, adjust friction. Make good habits easy and bad habits hard. Third, design visual cues. Make your goals obvious and unmissable. Fourth, curate your circle. Surround yourself with the right people. And finally, sanitize your digital space. Take back control from your devices. These are the levers you can pull to stop fighting yourself and start building a life that pretty much runs on autopilot. In the end, the path to getting better isn't about more grit, it's about better design. It's about being kind to your future self by making the right choice the easy choice today. So I'll leave you with this one question. Look around you, right now, wherever you are. Does the room you're in, the screen you're looking at, do they serve the person you truly want to become? If the answer is no, it's time to start building.